Hey there, it's Miley with CloudApp. Today we are concluding our design thinking series with the fifth step, which is the testing stage. This step is crucial. It makes the difference between success and failure. So in this, we'll go over the five-step process again. If you need a refresher, the five steps are empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. So we'll go over kind of how each of these steps interact with each other, and why they are all necessary to create the best design. And then we'll go over the process of the testing phase and what the benefits are of this stage. It's pretty obvious, especially in reading the article, that you cannot skip this step, because as much as you are able to research and ideate throughout the process, unless you test it, you're not going to know for sure how users actually interact with the product. So we'll go over all of the steps of the testing phase, and the importance of basically creating a prototype that can be easily basically changed throughout the testing process. You'll want to keep that pretty flexible, because if you have a set in stone prototype, then you're going to be less likely to make changes even when the testing shows that changes are needed. We're also going to go over how the best context and scenario in order to actually test your product, and so we'll have some helpful tips on creating a successful test with users. Those include eliminating distractions, keeping an open mind. I've been in a few of these tests with this phase of the design thinking process, where I'll give feedback on a UX prototype that completely shocks the UX designer with how I end up using the product. And so no matter how much prototyping and designing you do, this step makes the difference between people actually using your product or not. But also how to be able to have an open mind and observe and gain feedback. You'll also want to make sure that you're always recording your testing stages, just so that you can reference it back. You'll want to make sure to really, pay attention, because you might miss out on things the first time around. Especially, if you're doing it in person, you'll want to, definitely record that. But all of these steps will help you, and you'll learn that you may have to do this step several times, because, once you test it and go back to the prototype, you'll have to test that again. So feel free to come back and reference this as much as needed. But this step really does make the difference between success and failure in design. So hopefully you've learned a lot, and that you're able to, complete your final step of the design thinking process. And I'm excited to see how this helps you, and I would love to hear any feedback on your recent tests.